welcome. What's today? May 25th. So, month is almost over, and you guys have had a solid month. Wanted to just give a virtual high five for all the progress. I know that some people are re-engaging, some people are in the zone, some people are just starting. So it's kind of fun to see everyone in their different, stages of the program. But I think the best part about it is that we're learning how to live this way, right? Like it's not just this end of the finish line. I say that all the time, but that's one of my favorite things about this program is we're learning how to live our lives in this way so that we feel better and we deserve to feel good. So I am grateful to have all of you guys here. Can you guys not hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Now Tammy, maybe log back in. Tammy wasn't able to hear me. Okay, so anyway, thanks for being here. We've got some good stuff planned for you today. First off, do I see Steph here? Okay, Steph, are you in a place? Steph's our hot shot tonight. Are you in a good spot? There you are. Hello.
Hey.
So we're just going to start off with a bang and have you kind of share your experience so far in the 5-star program, how things have been going. And then I may ask you a couple questions, but Katie gave us a good little intro. So just tell us your progress so far and kind of how your mindset has shifted and what's been the most valuable to you.
Sure. So full disclosure, I've only been doing this. I'm on my 3rd week. So
all right. We love it.
Just trooping along. I've loved it. I told Katie that this is the most intense program I've ever been a part of, which is in the best way. So I'm sure like a lot of you, I have yo-yo dieted like crazy. I've done keto. I've done working with a nutritionist. I did intuitive eating, which was like basically thinking of what I was doing as I was eating a cookie. I don't think I did it right. I did Weight Watchers like twice. So I've done a lot of like different programs. And what I told Katie that I feel like is so unique to this is that I am checking in twice a day. So I'm doing tell my story, like kind of right off the bat, first thing in the morning. And then I'm checking in at night. And then not only that, Katie is my cousin for some of you that don't know that. So Katie is checking in with me and I'm checking in with her pretty much throughout the day. So I'm asking her questions. So I'm talking to somebody throughout the day, every day. And I don't know another program that's been so intense, but like, again, just in the best way. So I don't weigh myself. I weighed myself and took a picture at the beginning of this program. And because I have such an unhealthy relationship with the scale for my own doing for many years, I told Katie, I said, I'm like, I'll weigh in, I'll take a picture, but there's no way in heck I'm going to do this every single week, just for my own mental health. And to make this not so much about weight, I have PCOS and I'm insulin resistant and kind of dealing with that since last year. It's been more important for me to focus on the health and why I'm doing this. Like the bigger picture, weight will come off. It really will. For myself, I know that I can lose this weight. It's more about really sticking to this and finding out what works for my body. And so that's why I won't do it until the end of 12 weeks. But it's actually helped to give me the freedom to be more curious about the foods that I'm eating. We kind of got a rocky start with the supplements. 2 of those digestive supplements just really get you. I told Katie, I'm like, am I going to just poop myself skinny on this whole program? So it's been hysterical, like going through it so far. But as I've been, literally the accountability portion of this I honestly think that's what's going to make the difference. It's for me because I know I feel committed, but it makes me excited to know that like even on the weekends I'm checking in because my weekends are the hardest for me. So that's kind of my take so far.
I love it. Yeah, and I love that you've been able to kind of find an approach that works for your mind, right? With the no weighing. I mean, I know how that is. I now don't weigh myself just because I tend to have an unhealthy relationship with my scale. but I think that it's good. And that's what I love most about this program, is that we can all individualize it. And as coaches, we're here to like bounce ideas off and be like, hey, I don't think weighing in is probably the best for me. Okay, let's find something else for you to do, right? Still be held accountable, but make it so this program works for you. So I love that. And yeah, everyone's kind of saying how they can relate with the weekends in the past being a time where we get thrown off. And so I do love that we stay solid through the weekend. For me personally, I think cheat meals like mess with my head. And so a lot of you are nodding and kind of agree with that. I think that it's just better to stay consistent, because I was reading a quote earlier this week that was talking about how we cannot heal unless we have routine and consistency in our lives. And so it was talking about healing from trauma, but how cool is it that we can heal our bodies through consistency, right? And through that routine. So I felt like that was really applicable to what we're doing here, is finding that routine for our mind, body, spirit, right? All of these things that our bodies can count on. And we are creatures of habit, right? We are creatures of routine, thinking about small children, right? They love routine. That's just how we are. So I love that the accountability piece is working well for you. Any questions do you guys have for Steph? Any thoughts, anything you wanted to kind of dive deeper into before we chat more about accountability? I'd love to know, I just talked to another gal who's going to start our program, actually Cindy's friend, and she's a sweet gal. And she was saying how she's done many programs in the past, kind of like Steph had mentioned, but she was most excited for the accountability. And so I think that that's what maybe scares us at first, right? Steph, you said it's like so intense. But really, that's what keeps us on track. So I'd love to talk to, just speak to that a little bit. I know Katie's going to dive more into accountability, but Tammy, Megan, Chelsea, Lynn, we've had some people, Melissa, Allison, who've been doing this for a while. So does anyone want to kind of chime in on how the accountability piece has, helped them kind of stay consistent?
This is Melissa. I think that the accountability program is really integral to it, right? Because it keeps your brain where it needs to be, as life happens and food comes your way, right? In fun situations or celebrations. And so you got to figure out how to manage that. And the accountability piece helps give you some levity, not levity, but like it gives you some sort of mechanism to make sure that for me, I don't go crazy. And so that's why I like it.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And it's a really good way to be honest with yourself, like if you did do something that maybe, wasn't in alignment with the 5 stars, like it's really good to learn to like recognize it, say it, feel it, and then move on, right? So we're not stuck in that feeling of like guilt. It's like, okay, let's report it. As coaches, we're not going to like shame you, right? We're not going to get mad at you. Like sit in that feeling, think about how you felt and be like, okay, I want to change this up tomorrow, and then we move forward. So I like that piece of it too. Anyone else want to share?
I just wanted to add something on the, sorry.
No, go ahead, Steph.
I just wanted to add something on the cheat meal that you were talking about, that I love that you mentioned that, because with the cheat meal and accountability, usually when I would do programs that would have a cheat meal, I'd be thinking about what food I'm going to be eating on that cheat meal. So my mind would go, it sounds ridiculous, but my mind would go to that. Like I'd look forward to it all week.
Yeah.
Which now, when I'm not allowing myself to have that cheat meal, I actually look at meals and go, ooh, I wonder if I could take out that sugar and how it would taste. I wonder if I could switch that to like wrap that burger in lettuce. So my mind goes to switching meals now to fit my program.
I love
So
that.
because there's not, and it doesn't, I really don't feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah. I love that. I don't know who it was. Someone in the program mentioned how they looked at their meals as like they were now excited about the meals they were actually having, right? It was like those berries with breakfast. It was something that they looked forward to. So I really like that you said that. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Someone was gonna chat. Megan, was that you? No.
I can chime in. It was me.
Oh, hello.
Hello. So, for me, I deal with chronic pain. It's an everyday thing. Some days it's better, some days it's worse. Normally, when I'm in a lot of pain, I would just give up because it was easier. And because I have someone that I'm accountable to, and because I know someone's going to check in on me and someone actually cares about me, it like I'll fall off the wagon for a day, maybe two, but never more than that. And I'll jump right back on. And my pain has been really, really bad lately, but I feel better without the sugar. And Brittany is really good. She's an amazing friend, someone who I love and admire, and she's always knows the day that she needs to check in on me. And if she didn't, I would fall off the wagon a lot more. So I'm just grateful. And even Katie checks in on me too, and she'll just send me a little uplifting message or something. And I'm grateful for that because I couldn't do it on my own.
We love you. Thank you for sharing. Now you made me cry in the very beginning of this call. Yeah, Allison said accountability and support is vital. So I love that you guys recognize the importance of this. In that little snippet that we listened to, he said one thing I liked the most was the more accountability, the better, right? So Katie, I'd love for you to kind of share just diving deeper into that recording and some takeaways that you want to chat about.
Okay. Thanks, Steph, for being willing to share, by the way. Appreciate you.
Of course.
One of these times, we'll have to have Steph share her special talent of singing the Star Spangled Banner with the chicken voice.
You know what, guys? This is why family working together is not that great of a decision.
Oh, man. Anyway, thanks, Steph. I appreciate it. Okay, so diving into that clip, how many of you, I don't know if you can like raise your hand if you're showing your face, or I know there's a way that you can like raise your hand if you actually listen to it. I'm just curious if you guys listen to it at all. Okay, Tammy did. I'm seeing your hand up. Allison. I'm on my phone, by the way. I'm like in a parking lot, so I can't see everyone at the same time. I'm just kind of like scrolling here.
We have lots of raised hands.
Oh, okay, good.
Good job on your homework, ladies.
Thanks, guys.
And Sean. Sean's on here too.
So for me, it was like the biggest aha ever because I couldn't explain why I've always resisted accountability. When I shared like the training video during orientation week, I talked about how, sorry, the lighting's really bad. Anyway, in the past, I've always resisted accountability, especially over the weekend. That's when I would have a hard time, which is pretty common. And it was like, oh, I'm free. And like if I had a trainer one time checking in with me, this was like years ago because I've yo-yoed, like I've mentioned. And she's checking in on me and I was like rolling my eyes. Why is she checking in with me? I'm an adult. I should be able to decide what I'm going to eat. You know, I don't know. I just always had this negative connection with accountability. So then in this clip, when he talked about, I believe it was Hal Elrod, he's the author of Miracle Morning, which you guys, that's been on my list to read forever. And I'm finally thinking about having a miracle morning. You guys know I always talk about being a night owl. But anyway, he talks about how as children, we resist and resent accountability. Like it's pretty much forced upon us. We all remember being a kid and it's like our parents made us go to bed at a certain time. They made us get our homework done. They made us eat our vegetables and we didn't appreciate it. But really that's what kept us healthy and alive. And now that I raise my own kids, he talked about the homework thing and I can totally relate to that because about a month ago, I checked my high schoolers' grades and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you doing? Like, would you just think that this is okay? Like, are you just going to take 3 Fs, you know? Anyway, we've got his grades up. I pulled in some major accountability for him and he has like all A's and B's now, but I'm just like, what would you do if I wasn't holding you accountable? So anyway, when he gave that comparison of once, you know, we resist accountability as children, we see what we can get away with. And then when we hit 18, it's like, we're free and we leave the house. And I remember just the food part of it. Like I put on the freshman 15, even though I was playing college soccer and I thought I could run it off. I would share a pizza with my roommate and have like a whole gallon of milk and we thought we were hilarious. But I remember that feeling of like, I specifically remember a time when I was walking home from the library, at least I was studying. Anyway, I was walking home from the library and I'm like, nobody knows where I am. This is awesome. So like you have that mindset of I'm an adult, I can do what I want. And I never realized that that starts with the childhood thing, you know? And our parents obviously have good intentions. I'm a parent, I have good intentions for my kids, but it makes you resist accountability. So if we can like, I don't know, I think it was about a month in that it finally clicked that I'm like, without accountability, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be doing my little binges over the weekend and not making progress. So I've really learned to appreciate accountability, but having that reframe of my mindset of why it's so important was extremely helpful for me. I don't know if you guys got that from it. Sorry, I'm just fixing my screen here. So I would love, did it strike any of you guys, that part about talking about accountability as kids and then how we feel about it as adults?
The part that got me was when he said the majority of people don't recover from that I'm out of the house, I can do whatever I want, and they lose that accountability and then they don't recover. And how many times have we told you guys, you are unique? Like the fact that you're showing up here and taking your life back and taking your health back and sacrificing things, like you are unique, because the majority of people don't have a vivid vision. They don't look at their future selves. They don't have a morning routine. They don't have an evening routine. They don't, right? They're not checking in with anyone. So I thought that was interesting that he's like, yeah, we go off and then the majority of people don't ever recover. And then it's just this bad spiral, right? So anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, okay, I wanted to make sure I wasn't muted. Steph, if you're still on the call, I do want you to share. Speaking of that, most people aren't being accountable to what they eat. And she had a failure planning situation where she was prepared for the break room. I know we've all experienced this, but I just wanted her to share like what was said in the break room.
Oh gosh. So I'll share with that. And I also have a thought on all this. My last week was just hysterical. There was like a lot of things going on. I met with friends, but I had my VP of marketing. She just really wanted me to have birthday cake. Like she was big on like, eat this. And I'm like, no. And I was kind of politely saying, no, thank you. And then she was like, or no, it was pizza. She goes, come and get some pizza. Come on. And I finally just went, I said, no, I said, I'm honestly good. And I go, I'm off of sugar and flour, which by the way, this is hilarious because her husband doesn't eat sugar, but I'm like, okay. And then she just thought it was the weirdest thing. She goes, why the hell would you do that? And I was like, first off, none of your business. They're like, that's HIPAA. But like, I responded back with just saying, it's medical. I said, I'm insulin resistant. I have PCOS. and decided to share that with her, which was hysterical because she had no idea what PCOS was, nor did she understand what I said when I said I'm insulin resistant, which I think because I've had to talk about it so much, I kind of understand it. But explaining it to somebody else, because it was medical, she was like, oh, okay. I was like, thank you. Well, now leave me alone.
Yeah.
But the other part I wanted to talk about was on the accountability partner. I have not heard that phrase until Katie was like, I'll be your accountability partner. And I was like, fantastic, whatever that means. And then I have actually used that even now at work. So I'm in HR, so I run my HR department and my HR generalist. I told her even this week, I played for her that video, which I've also shared with her that video to my exec team because I thought it was awesome. And I was like, you and I need to be our accountability partners. Like we have our goals, we have our projects we need to do this year. Like you should be able to ask me where I'm at. Like we need to check in with each other. And I'm even doing it with one of my employees who he is an addict. He's clean. We could have fired him. He was actually smoking pot on property. Told me about it. He has now moved into a sober living house. And I literally get test results from his sober living house manager to tell me how he's doing. And so instead of firing a person, I said, if you're committed to checking in with me all the time and like getting drug tested every week, I will keep your job. And so I will tell you this, accountability doesn't just go with weight loss, doesn't go with health. To me, it's a huge underlining theme with so many things in life. And also to be, I feel like a more effective leader to hold people accountable along with myself, like practice what you preach. So to me, this has been an awesome program that's just highlighted the things I've been thinking about. It's awesome.
Love that.
Thank you, Steph, for sharing that. Yeah. Yeah. The quote that I loved, well, there was quite a few quotes, obviously, because I shared the whole clip. I got to scroll this so I can see other people's faces. But it hit me where he said, Hal said, we need to grow up, stop resenting and resisting accountability and embrace it and set it up as much as possible as we can in our lives, like what Brittany shared. So I'm like, you're right. I need to like grow up and embrace accountability and just realize that the places where I am showing up in life, it's because I have to. It's because there is accountability in place. And so if there's a goal that I want to reach, like Stephanie was talking about, even at work, like you can implement it there as well.
Mm-hmm. And at work, we do things too. What's even the technical name for it, Katie? The 10 and 10 or something?
Report?
Anyway, yeah, like, so you have a partner, and at 10, but before 10 a.m., you text them. Like,
I was thinking about the hospital, like a report to the oncoming.
No,
Yeah.
I was just talking about like other doTERRA work related things that we've done. So you message them like 3 things that you're going to do that day before 10 a.m. and then before 10 p.m. you text them saying that you completed those things, right? So it's like if you have a teenager or, someone who, one of your children, or even at work, sometimes the 10 and 10 is kind of cool. Or TJ and I, my husband, will do it together sometimes, like if we have personal goals we're working on, or if we're just kind of really stressed, I feel like doing that helps because then you have 3 things to focus on that day and you don't get totally overwhelmed. So you're still accountable, but you're not like overwhelmed. So anyway, lots of different ways to bring accountability into, our everyday life outside of the 5-star program. So I like that.
So Brittany, this leads us into the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And the accountability program that we want to start up. I think you have it on your screen, right?
I do. Yeah. So I've actually told a couple of you guys about this because we're in this phase of like, oh, I need to be more accountable, right? I got to show up. Like I'm not in the zone like I was before, right? So everyone's, as I said in the beginning, everyone's at a different place. Some people are in the zone. Some people are getting back in the zone. So we were brainstorming some fun things we wanted to do for summer, and we felt like it was going to be really awesome to give you guys a summer challenge. So I am going to share with you what that's going to be. Now, here's the thing. you guys can choose to participate or not. It's not crazy different from what you're already doing, okay? It's just kind of a fun approach. There's cash on the line, right? So that keeps everyone a little more engaged. But you guys can choose if you want to do it or not after I kind of present it. So let me show you real quick. Where's my, here we go. Okay, so I just kind of threw this together, but here we go. Every month we're going to kind of have a different theme and a different idea behind the summer challenge, okay? But each month, so June, July, and August, we're going to have something like this, but it's a stress less summer challenge. So what we've decided is kind of that quote I was telling you, and I'll share the legit one tomorrow in our group, but basically the idea that we can heal in areas of our life if we have structure and routine. And so I know that sometimes summer can be a little overwhelming because kids are home or things are changing, there's more activities going on, and that can be more stressful. But with routine, we can have a stress-less summer. So we're going to implement a couple new things into your 5 stars. You'll notice here that the majority of the 5 stars are still in place, okay? But one thing that we're going to add is fiber. Now, it's funny because I'm talking to you lovely people, and the common theme is like our bowels are a little bit off, like we need to address them. And so I was kind of racking my brain of like, okay, if we're not eating adequate veggies, which I know we've had this conversation before of like, oh, I just have a hard time getting my veggies in, right? Like being creative, getting all the veggies in. That's where a lot of our fiber is, and we're not having grains as much anymore, right? Do you guys get that? Like we're not really having grains, so our body's adjusting. We're trying to kind of figure out this new normal of less grains but more veggies. And so I'm thinking, okay, the majority of us are deficient in fiber just across the board, right? Like as Americans, we are deficient in fiber. And so I want to introduce and put in this program a fiber supplement, okay? So doTERRA has a great one that they just came out with. Luckily, because if not, I would make you guys drink psyllium husk, which is like straight dirt. Ask Hillary. I was making her do it, and she's like, I'm going to throw up. I can't do this. Oh, I don't know if she's still on. Anyway, so moral of the story is doTERRA made one that actually tastes good. It doesn't have a high sugar content, but it's got soluble and insoluble fiber in it. It's a quick, like, mix a scoop with some water and drink it. Katie's been doing it every morning. I've been doing it. It tastes good. You can mix it with a greens powder, or you can just have it plain with some water. But it's been awesome for me, because sometimes what happens, you guys, is we just get a buildup of you know, toxins and like stool that we're not eliminating. And so the fiber just goes in there and kind of scrubs the inside of our colon and helps us get that out. And I've had a client before, I kid you not, we were just a few weeks in, she was like, I haven't lost any weight. She was just kind of frustrated by it. I said, are you doing the psyllium husk? Because in my normal 6-week program, I had psyllium husk every night. My clients did psyllium husk, okay, because of that fiber piece. She's like, no, it was so gross. Like, I didn't want to do it. And I said, please do it. So she did it for a few days, and then she weighed in and she texted me and she's like, oh my gosh, I lost 4 pounds in like 2 days. And I said, yeah, do you know what that was? It was like literally buildup in your colon that needed to come out of there. So if you guys are not regular, okay, with your digestive system and your elimination patterns, meaning you have a bowel movement at least once a day, or if you have inconsistencies in how your bowels, I mean, your stool looks, right? If you have diarrhea or constipation, whatever, the fiber can kind of help regulate that, help get you regular. And then along with the Terrazyme, right, our digestive enzymes, it's going to go in there and kind of scrub the colon and get toxins out of there. If you've been dealing with brain fog, lots of times that can be because we have toxins that are built up because we're not eliminating appropriately. Okay. And as a nurse, I talk about bowel movements a lot. And so I apologize if this is uncomfortable to you, but this is very normal to me. And in health, I think that we forget how important elimination is. Like if you go into the ER with abdominal pain, you're right up there on the list with the chest painers, okay? Because if you have a bowel obstruction, that's a big issue. So we just want to make sure that you guys are regular, and so we're going to add fiber, okay? So this is just a scoop of fiber. It's less than 20 bucks for the bag. It's just a really great product, and so you can add that. If you want to participate, you'll add that before like to your June order, okay? So fiber, then you'll continue with same supplements, telling the
Hey,
right
Brittany.
story. Yes.
Sorry, I have to talk about the fiber really quick.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So it does have a little bit of stevia. I know I did training on like stevia, artificial sweeteners, any sort of sweeteners. So I have studied on this. I've experimented with it. I've been taking this fiber supplement. How long has it been out? Like a few months now. My weight is the same. Like my blood sugar is not affected. I use it to break my fast. I mean, your first meal of the day, you're breaking your fast because you haven't been eating. And what I've noticed is it really like wakes up my guts. I love the taste of it. When you haven't been having any sort of sweeteners, it's like a treat. So I thoroughly enjoy drinking it. I actually combine it with collagen and glutamine. It's just something that I've transitioned to for intermittent fasting. You guys don't have to go there with it. It's still good just plain. I would encourage you to have it with breakfast, like it says there, because when you combine, it has some natural fruit sweeteners in it, but when you combine it with protein and like the grain, then you're not going to have the sugar spike. So I just wanted to add that, Brittany.
Yeah. And actually, I'm glad you did, because I was going to talk about that and I forgot. So the reason why, you guys, we focus on fiber so much, let's say with someone who has diabetes, is because fiber helps to balance blood sugar. So fiber is really important. So because there's so much soluble and insoluble fiber in this mix, the sugar, right, the natural sweeteners that are in it aren't really affecting your blood sugar because the fiber is trumping that, if that makes sense. It's trumping the benefits, and so it's not like throwing you into these weird like sugar highs. And we wanted to try out the supplement for a little bit before we recommended it to you guys, because honestly, you know, we love doTERRA, but just because they come out with something doesn't mean like that it fits with our program and like what we want to do. So we wanted to make sure that it was good, and we have both been using it consistently and seen good positive benefits from it. So we want you to try it for 30 days, being consistent, see how you do. If you like it, you can continue on. If you didn't notice the difference, then, you know, you can find something else. Okay, so tell
Brittany, one more thing. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's talk about the bottle shaker. So when you do mix it, have you ever mixed it with just plain with a spoon? Does it mix well? Because I've been using that Vortex thing. Or in the past, I've used just like a little wire whisk, and it mixes better. So
I haven't. You could probably do like the shaker bottle that has the thing in it, or mix it. I use what Katie's talking about is like a battery powered mixer. So it's just a cup, but it has like a battery that makes it have like a little tornado inside of it basically, and then you mix it in and it just mixes it without any lumps. It was $30, probably. I mean, I've spent $30 on many things in my life, but this is probably one of the best $30 purchases I've had.
I know, I like look forward to it. I took it to soccer practice the other day. I coached my daughter's little comp soccer team.
Yeah.
They were all freaking out over it. So it really is something to look forward to.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll post. I have a bunch of links to post for those who want to be involved in this program. I have I have some things linked. So I'll send you that as well if you guys want to buy it. But either way, just mix it and drink it. With any fiber though, you realize you can't drink it over hours, right? Because it does gel up. So you need to just like drink it and then have your breakfast, like Katie said. So 15 minutes of activity is the same. During the summer, a lot of times we are more active because we may be outside more doing, maybe we're doing more like sporting events or playing pickleball in the evenings or whatever we're doing. So obviously that's fine to have more activity, but for sure just the 15 minutes minimum. And then rejecting sugar, flour, and snacking, reporting every evening. And then we are going to read the Miracle Morning book. And so we just recommend that you have 5 minutes in the book. That's it. Okay, 5 minutes. You can listen to it or you can read it, but 5 minutes in the book every day. This is the book, The Miracle Morning, the not so obvious secret guaranteed to transform your life before 8 a.m. This book is fabulous. I was actually just talking to my sister about the principles of this book and how important that's been for my life and my routines. And so I'm really excited to dive a little bit deeper with you guys in this book. Oh, thank you. Lynn linked the blender bottle for us in the comments. So anyway, Miracle Morning, we're going to read this. And then I also have, Katie made up let me go to this here. She made up a calendar because what we're going to do is we have blue and green options, blue and pink options. And you're going to print this out. The challenge goes for 30 days. And then I have found some star stickers for you. You can even use just the cute gold ones. And you're going to hang it somewhere in your bathroom or your bedroom or whatever. And you get to star. If you can do all those things, you get to put your star on. Okay. And then obviously part of the challenge is seeing who can have a beautiful calendar of all gold stars. Who likes the visual? I'm a big visual fan. I enjoy putting the star on my calendar. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Have that be kind of fun. And then for I was telling you, cash is involved. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna stick this up here. This is just something that you guys can use to share with other people if you wanted. But the cash, it's going to be a $20 buy-in, so $20 is pretty simple. But because we're going to have a lot of people doing it, the cash prize is going to be, or the grand prize is going to be kind of that. What's the word, guys? When everything
The pot.
goes into the pot. Yes, the pot. So the cash prize is going to be that pot. Not actual pot like weed, okay? The pot money. I'm just kidding. I had to say that. Okay, anyway, the pot of money. And then we're going to have a bunch of like fun doTERRA little giveaways along the way. But $20 and then obviously, your doTERRA supplements as well. But we would love to have any friends or family who have been kind of chatting with you, if they want to join us. I have this graphic that you could send them or post or whatever and just say, hey, the program I'm part of, we're doing a fun summer challenge. We start June 1st. So really it's like the main 5-star transformation principles with some extra fun things thrown in. And you guys know that we celebrate healthy habits, right? Consistent routines, and reducing stress, stabilizing mood, improving digestion, and decreasing inflammation for the summer. So I think we all want to have awesome results with our health for the summer, stress less. It will be kind of fun for us to, have something new and exciting in that book that we're going to be reading together. And then I'm super excited to put stars on my calendar. So I think that I talked about everything. Did I, Katie? I'm a little bit.
Yeah, I think you hit it all. we were going to, weren't we going to have 3 top winners? Like split the pot 3 ways, or are we just doing one?
Oh yeah, we were going to have 3 winners. Sorry guys. So we have 3 winners, and the winners are basically to be determined. Obviously, you have to get all 30 gold stars on your calendar, but we know that you guys are rock stars and that you probably are all going to get 30 stars on your calendar. So Katie and I are, going to have to like step in and be the judges of, I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to figure out how to do it. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that.
We'll throw in some extra prizes too. You know how we love giveaways.
Everyone will get a prize basically, but here's the thing. You guys are awesome and you're already doing the majority of these things. So really it's just a fun way to read a new book, have some fiber, see cute stars on your wall. It's just something fun to be part of. And like I said, with the accountability partner, if you do have someone who, has been chatting with you, they can jump in and they'll be doing basically the main 5-star principles, and there'll just be a couple extra things thrown in, which will be a positive for them. So then you can continue on with the July challenge, which will be just a little bit different, and then the August challenge as well. So anyway, any questions on this? To be fully transparent, we may come up with some other indicators for winners so that it's not just like Katie and I judging this, because that's so hard because you guys are all awesome. But we will let you know before we actually start. Okay, so if you want to be involved, we are going to have a different form that you fill out to report. And so we'll put you in your own little Slack group for like check-in and stuff and remove you from the other one for now. So if you want to be part of this, just private message us, let us know, and then we'll kind of start building that Slack channel for everyone who wants to start June 1st. And obviously you guys can put in your orders on June 1st with the fiber. I understand that you're not going to, actually we didn't really think through that, Katie.
Yeah, I actually was thinking of that today. So we'll think through it more. We'll make an announcement on that. Because yeah, some people's orders might not happen until later in the month. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. We'll think about that. Good thing you guys love us, because we didn't think about that. Okay. So anyway, basically, we'll send you more details on that. Darn it. And some people, it takes forever to get doTERRA. Like up in Washington, what, Cindy? It takes like at least 5 days, not longer than that. Yeah. Okay, we'll think about that, guys. Anyway, do you think that this will be something that you guys will enjoy? Kind of get you back in the game, and trying to have all those gold stars in a row? Hopefully, yes. Okay. So tell me, all right, Beverly Ann is in. Allison says it sounds fun. Yes. Cindy loves the challenge. So do I. You guys, I've learned that all of you guys love a challenge, actually, which I enjoy. So I know you're all competitive enough to fill in those gold stars. Melissa's in. Got it. So here's the thing though, for 30 days, you guys realize to get a gold star, you have to do all the things 100%, right? So it's like compounding effect times 100. It's 30 days of solid. Okay.
So no massage days for me, because I can't squeeze in exercise too.
Massage. Oh man. Do not give up your massages.
Right?
Yeah.
Do stretching after your massage. That's like the best time to stretch, I hear. Count that. It'll be like yoga.
15
minutes of stretching.
Yeah, 15 minutes can be done quickly. Yes, Cindy, this will get you back into checking in at night. Perfect. Because that's a good point. You have to report. You have to take your fiber, which we'll figure that part out. Supplements, right? Rejecting all the things. So, I mean, yes, when I say you guys are all probably going to get all 30 days, I do believe that, but you got to be 100% too. So we're pretty excited to see the positive results you guys get from this, just being 100% consistent. And I'm excited to do it as well. And I'm super excited to read the Miracle Morning book. So even though we got to figure out the fiber piece, if you guys want to hop on and get either Audible or the physical copy of the Miracle Morning book, that will get you ready. And then we'll let you know about the fiber piece. And what else? I think that's it. So again, I know that you guys said you're in, but I can't remember everyone. Let's see. I'll try to remember and add people to Slack, but if you don't see me adding you to Slack, well, actually we'll post about it tomorrow, and then that will be another good reminder for us. So, okay. Thank you, Cindy. All right. Any other questions about that, you guys? Honestly, if you have someone who wants to do it with us, tell us now, because we got to get their stuff to them. Okay. So if someone just wants to start the 5-star program like normal, obviously that's great. They could maybe hop into our July challenge if they wanted to. But if you have someone who has kind of been chatting with you about it, this is a good way to be like, hey, if you want in, we're doing a summer challenge. Come be my accountability partner, right? And I'll post that little graphic, so you could always just send that to them, or post that on, you know, your social media or whatever way you communicate with people. So, okay, awesome. I think we're done. Katie, anything that you wanted to add before we wrap up here?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see everyone's progress, because there really is something to consistency. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
And usually summer's a little bit more rough. I don't know. It's just, and it's easier too when you tell someone that you are doing a challenge. Like even the other day, I was talking with our soccer trainer, and she offered me, it was a peanut butter bar. And I turned her down, and she looked at me wide-eyed, and I'm like, you train women, like you're training women in weight loss, as she's like sipping on her liter of Diet Coke. And I wasn't judging you guys. I was just like, why are you giving me crap for saying no? But anyway, I told her, I'm like, I actually am doing an 8-week challenge right now, which meant my habit contract. And I told her a little bit about that, and she's just like, oh, okay. And then that opened up the conversation to talk about it. But it is easier to tell someone, say, I'm in this challenge, and then they like back off. It's another way to have people back off and support you.
So sad though that has to happen, but unfortunately.
It's real. Am I not the only one that runs into that? Like people are basically shoving food in your mouth.
No, we get it.
Megan's nodding her head.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a break room too. Well, maybe. Do you? Kind of? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we are building habits that will serve us for a long time. And I love that you guys are showing up for yourselves right now, because honestly, sometimes it is hard if you're not seeing the scale move, or you're not seeing the amount of, you know, inches lost, or your clothes as loose as you thought they were going to be. I know that it's hard to keep going, but I do just want to just like put my extra, you know, testimony in here that like it truly does benefit you in ways that you cannot see at a cellular level, in preventing disease and reducing that risk that we have just because of our environment. So you guys are doing so many things that others aren't, and showing up for yourselves in those ways. And so always, like I say, I'm super proud of you, and I just think that you should make sure that you acknowledge that, like acknowledge how much good you're doing for yourself and for your future self, with these little changes that you're making. And this consistency with our new challenge is just going to compound those effects. So we're excited to see how you guys do. So thank you for spending your evening with us. Cindy calls them food pushers. That's hilarious. Yes. So just say no to the food pushers. Okay. Let us know if you want to do the challenge, and we'll get some extra details out to you. And have a wonderful night. Goodbye, all of my beautiful friends.
See you guys.